Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to dive into something huge, one of the biggest transformations happening in tech right now, the massive shift from manual coding to an economy that's really driven by AI agents. And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy. This is the reality of 2026. It's here and it is changing absolutely everything. So let's just get right to it with this statement, because it's pretty provocative, right? This isn't just about AI getting a little better or being a fancier co-pilot. No, this is a fundamental shift in the paradigm, where the actual value of a technical professional is being completely redefined. The skills that got us to this point, they're simply not going to get us to the next level.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, what changed so suddenly? Well, this didn't just happen overnight, but it did happen incredibly fast. It's really the result of a series of cascading breakthroughs that have completely torn down the barrier between what a human wants and what a machine can execute. So let's break that down.
Okay, so the first major shift we have to talk about is something many are calling the death of the syntax barrier. You know, for decades, our ability to build anything complex was limited by how well we could speak languages like Python or Rust. Well, that limitation, it's just gone now. I mean, just look at the sheer speed of this change. Throughout 2025, AI models went from just doing simple tasks to actually performing complex reasoning all on their own. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a total game changer. The ability for an AI to think step by step became a standard feature. And when you combine that with a mind-boggling 128-fold drop in cost, well, the economic case for writing code by hand just completely evaporated. And this slide really illustrates the two different worlds perfectly. We've gone from the builder era, which was full of friction, where your great ideas got stuck for weeks in implementation, to the intent era, where there's basically zero latency. Today, you just use natural language. You describe the what and the why, and your AI teammate handles the how, turning your ideas into real infrastructure almost instantly. The focus is no longer on the tiny details of one function, but on the big picture, the design of the entire system.
So, with that syntax barrier gone, a whole new challenge and a completely new role has appeared. If you're not writing code line by line anymore, then what exactly do you do? Well, you manage the intelligence that does. You become an orchestrator. And this means all your energy shifts away from maintenance and debugging and towards pure innovation, because even the concept of technical debt is becoming a thing of the past as agents can refactor code in real time.
Now, the really crucial thing to understand here is that we've moved way beyond single AI agents. By 2026, the standard is what we call an agentic swarm. Just think of it like a digital project team. You've got an architect agent that breaks down the main goal, specialist agents that handle very specific tasks, and even a critic agent that acts as an internal quality check. The amazing part is they all communicate at machine speed with zero delay and, well, zero ego.
And of course, to manage these swarms, a whole new class of tools has popped up. Your choice of framework now pretty much defines your project's destiny. For something flexible like R&D, you might use a conversational framework like AutoGen. For predictable business workflows, Crew AI's role-based design is perfect. And for those really high-stakes enterprise apps where you need total control, LangGraph's state machine approach has become the standard.
Now, this new way of working forced us to completely rethink how humans oversee things. The old way was called human in the loop. The AI would do one tiny little step and then just stop, waiting for you to tell it what to do next. It was safe, sure, but it was incredibly slow. The human became the bottleneck.
And that brings us to today's model, which is human on the loop. This is the dominant way of thinking now. In this model, the AI works by itself, but within guardrails that you define. So your job completely shifts from operating the machine to overseeing the system. You're there to provide that final yes or no on the really critical decisions. It's a huge move from direct control to supervision that's based on trust.
Okay, so what does it actually take to succeed as one of these orchestrators? Well, the new mandate is crystal clear. You have to stop writing code and start architecting intent. These right here are the new core skills. And I want you to notice what's not on that list. Fluency in Python isn't there. Instead, you have skills like intent translation and system design. And then there's token discipline, which is basically the new resource management. It means knowing when to use a small, fast, cheap model for a simple task versus a huge, expensive one for a complex job. That decision directly impacts your project's bottom line.
This leads us to a really important flip. In a world where the AI can handle the how, the actual coding, human value completely shifts to defining the why. So your expertise in finance or healthcare or logistics is now actually more valuable than your ability to write a specific algorithm. The AI can code, sure, but it can't tell you what problem is actually worth solving for your customers.
And as we move into this oversight role, building safe and ethical systems becomes a core technical skill. Governance is now something you can actually program. The veto protocol is a perfect example of this. You define critical pause points in a process. Before the agent takes a big action, like sending a payment, it must stop, summarize what it's about to do, and wait for a human to say yes or no. This creates a transparent, auditable trail and makes sure that even though the AI has autonomy, the human always has the ultimate authority.
All right, so how do you actually position yourself to thrive in this new world? What's the practical roadmap for making that move from being a builder to becoming an architect? At its core, this really requires a fundamental shift in your identity. The job title itself is evolving because the whole mindset has to change. You're no longer just a software engineer, you are an intelligence architect, a composer, a director of autonomous systems.
You know, the job market has really split into two clear camps. On one side, you have AI users. They use chat interfaces for their personal productivity. But on the other side, you have AI builders. They are the ones designing, orchestrating, and deploying the autonomous systems that entire companies run on. And while being AI literate is good, your career stability and your strategic value lie firmly on the builder side of this divide. One group is at high risk of being replaced. The other is a long-term strategic asset.
And the opportunity here is just massive. To put this into perspective, India alone is projected to face a shortfall of 1.4 million AI professionals in 2026. This isn't just a small gap, it represents a staggering 53% skill deficit. The demand for true AI architects and orchestrators is outpacing the supply at an incredible rate. And that brings us to one final, provocative thought. As all the technical barriers to actually getting things done just melt away, we are entering a world where the speed and scale of innovation are limited by only one thing: the quality of our ideas. The crucial question for all of us now is, what will we choose to build? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more such interesting content.